Hello, friends. Okay, so let's get our little bell out here. And here we go. We're going to cleanse our space. That's such a pleasant way to start this. And so today we're going to do a little more of the origins of Satoshi. And we're going to ask 3 little questions involving Assange and his, functional capacity in this group. As I've said before, if you've watched the previous videos, or maybe they haven't aired in order, that I think Assange was there for the computer stuff, but mostly about the security and communications. I think he was security and communications guy. Although Finney and McAfee certainly could have acted in that way, I think that maybe this was Assange's big moment and was his chance to get involved in something really big. Today is a sacred gift from the universe. Yeah, I think that might have been true. I think he was pulled out at a very young age and, potentially could have gone in many directions, but instead was guided to be part of this, and it's made all the difference. Even though he's been sequestered, I don't think his life would have been the same had he not been asked to come on board. So that's my guess. That's what I'm thinking. But let's see with the cards. I've been wrong before. I've made guesses before, and I've been shown to be wrong. So let's see what the So the big reading is going to be about Assange, but there's going to be 3 small readings concerning specific questions that I have. So let's see how that goes. Guilt is a normal feeling. Just breathe in and let it go. So, guilt. So, did they have some sort of crime on him and they said, alright, we're going to forget about this because we need your help with something else? I don't know. Is that what that's suggesting? I don't know. I watched a movie about it, and I don't know, how true the movie is, but he was pretty young when he started getting in trouble for doing things, computer things, just rebellious things. I think he was a pretty young guy, We'll see. I still think he's an interesting guy, and I can't wait till he starts talking about stuff, but I don't know. I might be waiting a long time. Maybe I'm poking the bear. Masculine energy. Well, that's kind of fun. Yep, maybe he had to stand up and take control. I think it's 18. Oh, 16. Masculine energy, the sun, powerful, a life force without which nothing on this earth could survive. The masculine energy is one of action, doing, creating, forcing. In nature, it is balanced out with the feminine energy. When we feel ourselves embodying this energy, we get things done. We are thinking, logical beings. If we reside here too staunchly, we do not have any room for the opposite energy to come in. Being able to effortlessly flow from one to the other, masculine to feminine, is the pinnacle of being in the flow energetically. Sometimes in love relationships, the energy turns topsy-turvy and we end up residing in an energy that doesn't meet our highest need. This is hard to break out of due to fear. The fear of, if I don't do it, it won't get done. Realize that 2 people make up a relationship, and in an evolved one, the relationship itself develops into its own energetic balance, a perfect combination of yin and yang, masculine and feminine. If there is a void in one area, an imbalance will develop, and as in the nature of things, unconsciously, we will try to balance out. Being aware is a perfect first step. Alternatively, this card signifies a very important man in your life. Well, okay then. So we'll have to look for that man. Was it McAfee? Was it Finney? Was it a government agent? Alright, what cards are we going to use here? Oh yeah, these. Okay, so like I said, we're going to do 3 little readings, smaller readings, you know, the Kachina knife. And I guess the first one I want to say is, did the dark side know about what was going on? At least, you know, had feelings, rumors, inklings as to there was something being developed, and you know, Assange was running the secrecy and counterintelligence and literally like playing the fool. What? I don't know anything. Don't ask me. I'm just this guy. I don't know anything. Like that kind of situation. So did they know, and were they trying to, you know, find out who was involved in trying to kill him, or, you know, grab him, or question him, or, you know, were they hot on pursuit? Was that true? Well, there's some big energy here. Big cards, some major arcanas. So let's take a look at what this message is here. So there's generosity, and there's justice, and there's the Queen of Pentacles, our card. So they were watching somebody, the Queen of Pentacles. They were watching the money, and they were worried about a flip. This is hard to read. They see themselves as justice, and publicly they're seen as generosity. So this sounds like this is Bitcoin. This is the Queen of Pentacles was Bitcoin. That's our patron card, and it's going to change the world, and it's going to allow us to walk away from all of the nonsense and the bad stuff. We see it as justice. It can be seen as you know, equal give and take, and generosity, and you know, nostalgia, and children. It's all things that are good in the world. And Death and the Ace of Wands the Ace of Swords are telling us, okay, so here's justice. And here's the Six of Cups. And so, and the Ace of Swords. And the Death card, end of a cycle. Yeah, so I think this talks more about just Bitcoin and the development of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin coming forward and changing things and bringing in justice and fairness and, you know, love, and allowing us to walk away from this death occult and bringing truth instead, and transparency. And so it's more about Bitcoin coming forward. It doesn't really talk about whether they knew it or not. I guess they're always afraid that this kind of thing is going to happen, and it'll allow people to walk away from the death cult. Because justice. So did they know that justice was coming? Yeah, I think they have an idea that was coming too, even though they try to stop it and they try to slow it down, and, you know, I'll take everybody with me, that kind of thing. Yeah. So, not specifically. I don't think that they were hot on their trail. I'm not getting that. I'm getting more like this was something that was coming. They knew it was coming. They weren't sure how it was going to develop or show up, but they had an inkling that there was something out there that was going to put an end to them, and they didn't know what it was, but they knew the time was, you know, the time was here, and they were done. They were done with the astrology, you know, it really is dictating everything to everybody. Even though you can go either way within a dichotomy where you can go one end to the other in terms of energy, you know, there's all kinds of things in between. It's, anyway. Okay, so, no, I don't think they were hot on their trail. I don't think that anybody knew what was happening, although they still had to keep things within a framework that was not world-threatening. They had to kind of keep things in a box. So was this where Assange was able to prove himself as a young man? Was his first assignment, and you know, allowed him to really come into his own here, to develop himself professionally? Was that what happened? Well, again, we got 2 major arcana and 3 cards, so this is a big message, big energy. Another one. Okay. Well, this is nice. So yeah, he had a couple decisions to make, and then he was asked to do this one thing, and he had to make that decision. So he had to balance things in order to make that decision. This is changing his world, but it's allowing him to step out and be the fool. To step out and be who he was, which, as we saw, he was determined to be the fool. So, let's see. He sees himself as someone who is stepping out and, you know, being the detective, learning about things, you know, learning his new role, becoming. He goes inside introspectively and learns things about himself, you know, privately, maturity-wise. This allowed him to grow up. But he had to balance a lot of things, and he did a good job, I think. He's still alive, and he was able to get to some sort of safety at some point. He's not dead, so that's a good thing. But yeah, I think that was. I think he was, you know, come with us if you want to live, and he made the decision to do that. He was offered a decision. He thought about it. He had a lot of different ways he could go. He was offered a decision. He really thought about the decision because, you know, it's one way or the other. There's not try it now and I'll try change my mind. No, you go one way or the other with this. You come in here, you're read into secrecy and all kinds of things. You're not going back. I had to think about this and balance things out. How is this going to work with my life? But it's such an opportunity. So he went deep. He looked inside himself, found the courage, found the truth inside himself. Said, yeah, I'm willing to step out and be the fool. And I know that I can change my world, and by changing my world, I think I can change everybody else's world too. And I'll figure out how that's going to work. So he wasn't sure exactly what was happening, but he was asked to come on board, and you know, once you're in, you're in. No going back. And he said, yeah, I've thought long and hard about it, and this sounds like what I want to do. Even though it's dangerous, it's exciting, and it will give my life purpose. And so he chose to do that, and that's what he did. So he proved himself by accepting the offer that they made. And he became Julian Assange. You know, the one that we know, the public one. He's always been Julian Assange, the regular guy. Okay, and then, yeah, so was he in fact running communications? Was he the guy who kept things safe and allowed people to talk to one another safely through whatever communication apparatus he set up? Celebrations, so that's a good place to start. King of Swords and the Knight of Swords. A lot of truth. Ah, misery. Yeah, that's probably how he felt. Doing this. These are good cards, though. And there's that decision again. Okay, so he's being celebrated for, he thinks he's the king of, there's celebration. Probably when he came on board, they were happy. And he's good at what he does, so he is celebrated because he's good at what he does. He thinks he's the King of Swords, so he shows up and he's got all this truth and he's got all this knowledge and wisdom and, you know, I know a lot of things. And they see him more as the Knight of Swords. Like, yeah, you know a lot, you're coming in fast and hot, but there's a lot you still don't know yet. You're only the knight, you're not the king yet. But this was stressful. This was a real challenge for him, and it kept him up nights, and it kept him really wondering about a lot of things, because this was a big challenge for him. But here he is, being happy and having it all. He got there, he made it through, and he was rewarded generously for what he did, because he really laid his life on the line, made some decisions, and carried out a mission that was extremely important. He planted the seeds. So we are reaping the seeds, the bounty of the seeds that he has planted. And like we said, we're going to go one way or the other, and he made a decision to go the right way and helped us. He was also an obstacle. He was like, nope, you're not going to find out about any of this stuff. I am security, I am communications. You won't get anything from me. I'm blindfolded and I have 2 swords. And good luck getting behind me, there's water. So, also the choppy water he was feeling of the emotional stuff of getting through this mission. But yeah, I want to say that's pretty confirming for me. I'm happy with those cards. That yes, in fact, Assange was those things and did those things. And the fact that he showed up as a joker in the other reading was, I think, just a nod to the persistence of the investigation here. Oh man. What an adventure, what a journey this has been for me. I was thinking about that. I should do a reading on me. That would be fun. Wonder who would watch that. Yeah, so, okay. Okay, what are you going to tell us about Assange's participation? Adjustments are required. Yeah, that's what this was all about. Adjustments are required. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Like constant adjustments and a constant, oh, now I got a new thing I got to figure out. Adjustments are required. Continuously. Okay, third quarter moon. How fun. Where are you, table of contents? Third quarter moon. What are you, nuts? No. Adjustments are required. Third quarter moon. Think of yourself as a vessel that has been filled more and more over the past few weeks. Some of what has come your way may not have been wonderful, but there is also a lot of negativity and you need to let go of it. Whatever situation you're asking about now, be honest about whether there are toxic emotions involved, which you need to release into the ethers. This card also comes with the promise that all is not lost. However, there are changes or adjustments required before you will get to where you want to be. A change of course is forecast now that recent events have been understood and acted upon. There may also be a crisis now which will remind you that what you want and what it's time to let go of. So pay attention. I am reevaluating the situation. Your life may be out of balance and this may be causing your issues. It may be time to hatch a whole new plan. Something new and exciting is around the corner. Trust may be required to move this situation forward. At the time of the third quarter moon, we know where we have been, but where are we going? The moon is now half moon and slipping away from us as she catches less and less light, moving toward her full disappearance as new moon. It's a time of falling away and a time to reevaluate. No matter when you draw this card, the teaching is to release and to trust. Okay, good advice for him. Trust. Trust. Yeah, have fun. These people are just people. They're people. Acting like us people. Well, maybe they're not acting like us, they're acting like them. But they're people. Alright, who's gonna be here today? Oh, the nightingale. We haven't seen the nightingale in a while. Nightingale, sing your song. In the air. Nightingale. I think they're almost at the end. I want to say. Nightingale. Fearless voice, speech, communication, or song. The song of the nightingale is otherworldly. This simple brown bird, almost unnoticeable among the flashy plumage of the other birds, transports its listener to the realm of poetry. Nightingale energy is with us when we write, compose, and especially when we sing. It reminds us that music heals the deepest wounds. This card indicates a need to open the bridge between the heart and the voice. Is there something you need to say? How long has it been since you sang? Turn it up, write it down, and let it out. Sings, speaks freely, with kindness. Okay, well, I don't know if he was speaking freely. I guess he was speaking freely, but he was saying these are secrets and, you're not entitled to have them. So, I don't know. We learned a lot this time around. And we're coming up on our time. So, I hope you enjoyed this. It's always a good learning experience. Just telling these stories and learning about other people doing things. So, if you want to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow.